livestock values, they're out.
Yeah, IRD have just come out and released the herd scheme values, which is basically a snapshot of what the market value of livestock is around the whole of New Zealand, and it's used by accountants to value livestock at the end of the year. No real surprises in it. Sheep have barely moved in terms of their values. Beef cattle's well up. The deer were really up quite a bit, up to about 30-odd% in some cases. And poor old dairy, well, they're down sort of 20-30% as well, with a mixed age cow around about $1,350 is their average value now. So they've come back about $200 since last year.
About 20 to 30%.
Yeah, so it's a big drop.
It is a big drop.
And so
but it's expected, though, I would have
Well,
thought.
yeah, that was expected. We knew the market was going to be down. This is sort of, in the season this happened. Next year, we'll see how it goes. It might be down again because, a lot of livestock's going to come up for sale in the next wee while, potentially. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the books end up like for a lot of people using these values.
Yeah, no, it will be.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gypsy Day, which isn't very far away, have you noticed anything coming out of the woodwork?
No, everything's sort of reasonably quiet. There's a lot of deals going on behind the scenes is what I'd say.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of work put in by accountants and bankers up and down the country. Last week I had a full sit down with a banker for one farmer and basically almost got a deal on the table for him. So he'll be staying where he is. We've had a share milker who's decided they're going to give up and share milk and actually just go back as an employee on a dairy farm. So they're
Keeping it simple.
Yeah, they're moving away from that and into just paid employment because it's guaranteed money for them.
Yeah, and they know exactly where they are.
Yeah. And they're a young couple and they're like, well, we just can't hang it anymore. Yeah. We just want to get that paid income.
Because it could have been a bit turmolic out there.
Yeah, it could have. But I think most of it's sort of a lot of people have come to the realisation that they've got to get in there and just help them out.
No, that's excellent news. Now, there's been a bit of a survey on IRD and online.
Yeah, there's been a survey put out where a lot of people surveyed about how they've been using online, the attitudes towards IRD, etc. with it. And 57% of people have come out and said, yep, we've been using the online option for filing tax returns and making tax payments. But only a third of them are actually happy using it, purely because they wanted the real person contact. They don't like the idea of actually going online, filing on a computer and not knowing what's happening at the other end. They really wanted to talk to someone to know that it's done, received, the tax payment's gone to the right place.
It was when you push that button.
Yeah, you've just got to rely on the fact that it gets through, and it doesn't always. So yeah, that was quite an interesting one that's come out. And on the other side of it, only about 11% of it would be happy for IRD to have any access to their data. And of course, the push is for IRD to sort of read your data directly so you can get up to date with your tax, etc. Which means that IRD have got to come back and have a good look at what they're doing because that online is where they're heading, but people don't necessarily want it or like it.
Yeah, well, the banks went all sort of, we don't want to see you, didn't they? But
now they're coming back the other way and putting more managers on the road, etc. So it'll be interesting to see what IRD does. They're going to still push for that online, but I think we'll probably see a lot more what they call their compliance or community officers out there, just visiting people and having a bit of a chat and that sort of thing.
I've come across a couple of them, and they're very, very human people.
Yeah, well, they're fantastic people. And we say to all our new clients that come on board, if IRD say, look, do you want us to come out and have a sit down and just talk through your tax obligations, take advantage of it. Because they're there, it's free, it's, you take it with a grain of salt sometimes what they say, because they can be a bit over the top, but they do have some good ideas and just sort of keep you aware of where you're at. And
it's the other thing is, you gives it a balance to the chartered accountant.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It just shows that, what we're saying is right as well. It can raise some other questions. They might say, one thing they can ask us and we can give them a bit of a follow-up as well. So, it's a good thing to have those people out there.
Now, farm accommodation.
Yeah, just a couple of things that we've noticed recently, people not quite doing what they're supposed to do. They've got to realise there's a couple of bits of Act that actually sort of apply to these houses. So you've got your Residential Tenancy Act and you've got your Health and Safety Act as well, all the regulations. And a lot of farmers don't think about those when they do, accommodation for their staff. So under the residential tenancy one, you've got to make sure you've had a written rental agreement, for example. A lot of them just put the staff member on and say, okay, here's a house, I'm going to charge you whatever.
There's the key to the front door.
Yep, exactly. But under the Residential Tenancy Act, you're supposed to actually have a proper agreement that says, what the rent is, who the parties are, the property, etc. So it's just that. But the other one, of course, the health and safety. You've got to make sure you've got all the right things in there. So you've got your sleeping, your lighting, your ventilation, your washing facilities, all those sort of things. You've got to make sure they're up to scratch as well because, you've got obligations there to fulfil.
It's getting complicated.
It is complicated, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people just want to ignore it, but it's got to the point where you can't anymore. Especially with the recent health and safety changes, you really got to be on top of it. Not just on the farm, but now also this side of it.
And people come out and check, no doubt.
Yeah, they can do, yep. I was listening to the radio yesterday and there's an example of someone said they had a couple of people out and they realised straight away that they're in trouble with health and safety because the house wasn't up to scratch, there were holes in the floorboards, etc. And so they just sort of basically did a bit of a patch-up job.
Yeah,
But the
I
farmer
can
was
understand
just,
them getting...
yeah, but he was like, well, that's just the way the house is, it's old, why would I put money into it? Well, you can't take that attitude, you've actually got to make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah, indeed. Kerry, thank you very much. Indeed, you are full of great information.